should be good, I hope. Let me know if can't see. I don't know why it does this on this. What's crazy is that when I go live on my YouTube, I only do it 3 times. You good with volume here? Everybody hear me? All right. There we go. Sorry about that. I'm in my car. Um, we're going to jump right into this. I don't want to waste too much of your time here, but actually, I don't waste too much of your time here. So I'm going to jump right into the yard sale packet. As you guys come in, you'll see me right up the screen here. Let's go straight into this. So I want to go right down to where it says the change. So we're going to the making change part, where again, it's a lot of this is, you know, it's dealing with multiplying, adding, and subtracting amounts of money, but dealing with multi-step word problems. So is this calculating what each person spent and the amount of change each received back? I certainly hope most of you can at least do this to the most part. Um, if the receipt showed $1.50, 25 cents, $1.50, ladies and gentlemen, you're adding this up, 50, 25 cents, $1.50. When you add those up, the total amount is 325. Wow, that's bad. 325. Let me zoom in. Try to zoom. There we go. A little bit better there. So it should be 325. 325. So 325 would be your receipt there. If I paid that with a $5 bill, $5 minus 325, $5 minus 325 will give you $1.75. $1.75. Okay. Again, jumping right into this. Here. So when it comes to receipt number 2, if you have 3 items at $2 each, well, 3 times 2 will give you $6 total. If you had 4 items at $1 each, that's 4 times your $1 total, which would be $4. 2 items at 50 cents each is 2 times your 50 cents, which will give you $1. When you add all of them up, 6 plus your 4 plus your 1 is $11. When you have your $11 and you subtract that $11 from when you paid your 20 to do this, 20 minus 11 is $9 of change. $9 of change. That, my friends, is receipt number 2. Is receipt number 2. Receipt number 3. If you had paid for these items right here, when you add them up, so when you add them up, 10 cents plus 50 cents plus 25 plus your 1 plus your 50 cents plus your 50 cents will give you $2.35. $2.35. If I paid with a $3 bill, or oops, there we go. Here for a second. If I paid with a $3 and I subtract our 235 from there, 2 our 10 becomes 10 will be a 5, 65 will be 65 cents. Hopefully you can get my writing on this. 65 cents for that. Okay. 65 cents. Hopefully you have this down. Those of you following with me here. I know sometimes when we get to that third stream, YouTube kind of tends to stick that to the bottom for some reason, which is very odd. So sometimes when it comes to that, you're looking and going, "Where's this at? Where's this at?" And you have to like refresh the YouTube screen many times, and then finally it comes up. Um, but I'm going to scroll here with 4, 5, and 6. I'm going to plug right along here. So plug right along with number 4. So with number 4, if you have those amounts that you're paying for, $2, $1.50, $1, 50 cents, and 25 cents, when you are doing that, you're going to add all of those up. And when you do so, and again, just for my own sake, you add these up. It's going to give you a $5.25. $5.25. I can do that. $5.25. When you subtract your $10 minus your $5.25, I'm going to do this in my head because I'm not going to spend time too much with this. 10 minus 5.25 is $4.75. So when you get to number 5, so when we're dealing with number 5 here, again, all this is adding everything up. So when you do this, you take your 27, you take your 450, and you take your, back. 27 plus your 450 plus your 0.75 plus your 1 plus your 225 will give us 35.50. 35.50. 35.50. When you subtract, you pay with 40, you pay with your $40, and you subtract the amount that you're buying, which is 35.50. When you do that, so when you do that, 40 minus 35.50 will give us $4.50 of change. All right. Okay. So, with that being said, we will continue with this, with number 6. So with number 6 on this, if I have 12 items at $1 each, well, 12 times 1 will give us $12. 3 items at $2 each, 3 times 2 will give us $6. 1 item at 75 cents will give us 75 cents. 2 items at 50 cents each will give us $1. When you add those up, on that, you take your 12, you add to your 6, you add your 75 cents, and your 1 is 19.75. 19.75. If you pay with 20 bucks, you paid $19.75 worth of items. That's going to give you change of a big whopping quarter, 25 cents. Okay. Hopefully those of you who catch this later will follow along with this. I won't spend too much time on this. Scroll down. That's the first one I wanted to talk about. Let's actually go down to where it's the lines of symmetry. So the lines of symmetry here. This is always a fun one. This is always a fun one here. Um, lines of symmetry. Lines of symmetry basically means can you take that? Can you take the figure? So can I take this figure and can I fold it a certain way to where in the instance of say this rectangle, I usually would take the middle part of that. I would take the middle part as a line of symmetry, and I'm writing this on my computer, so it's kind of a little bit different. Oh my, there we go. So like a line of symmetry, you have to bear with me here, would be one that's kind of right in the middle. So there they are. What's up, Cadence? What's up, Jeremiah? What's up, Nathaniel? How you doing? How you doing? Um, so again, lines of symmetry. So if I'm starting with that right part with like number 5, with number 5 there, um, going to with number 5, like a line of symmetry would be something that would be right in the middle because then I could specifically fold it where it would nicely fold perfectly to cover the other side. That's a line of symmetry. I could be able to do this to fold it over. So one line of symmetry would be like I drew here. A second line of symmetry would also go right in the middle. I can fold that. I can fold that. I can fold that rectangle. I can fold that rectangle down. I can do this. I could fold the rectangle down and perfectly cover the other half, or I can fold that rectangle left to right and do it that way. So there's your two lines of symmetry. And I don't think there's any other ones for that. Um, that should give you two. That should be two. I don't think there's any other ones. Just trying to think off the top of my head. No. Those of you who are with me, if you think there's another one, let me know. I think we're okay on that. Number 6, a line of symmetry. Middle, because I can fold this left to right. I could fold that left to right, or I can take it right in the middle this way and fold it up and down like this. Okay. That should also be another 2 lines of symmetry. 2 lines of symmetry on that. Okay. Let's see. So just kind of jumping around here. If I go to number 3, this funky looking double arrow figure, this funky looking figure right here. So if you see it like it's kind of diagonal like so. So if you were to take this and kind of mentally turn that image to where it's kind of, pivoted on its one little side right here. So if you take it and think of it as kind of moving it to its side, if you do that, you can then say, well, it has a line of symmetry right here, and I'm trying to go right in the middle there because then you can be able to mentally fold it over to where it covers the other side. And from my understanding, and after looking at this, I believe that that is the only line of symmetry right there. Is the only line of symmetry. What else we got here? So the other symmetry, number 7 is kind of, what about a line from the top left to the bottom right with a rectangle? Top left to the bottom right. Top left to the bottom right. try to see if I could picture this on the paper right here. So if you're looking at this, I'm trying to make sure my screen pops up here. Come on. There we go. There we go. All right, so rectangle. So like the rectangle here. So if you had a line of symmetry that was right here, If I folded this over, if I folded this over, you see what happens? You see what happens with my rectangle? It doesn't completely cover the other side. I'm trying my best to do this. Yeah, yeah. See, like if it was a square, like if this was a square, yeah, you could cut them both corner to corner. But with a rectangle, it doesn't work like that. Hey, that's an awesome question. That's a very good question. But yeah, if it was a square like this one here, you can have corner to corner like this, middle and down. But yeah, perfect question there. Good question. Good question. So like here, like in this instance, number seven. So in number seven, like you can have a line of symmetry that's going to go right in the middle. You can go left to right this way. But here's the other fun part. If you mentally take that image, kind of well, turn it, rotate it this way, you also can have a line of symmetry in the middle here, as well as here. So which will make that, what is that? One, two, three, it looks like four lines of symmetry. Am I right on that? Four lines of symmetry? Four lines of symmetry. Yeah, there shouldn't be any other ones. But yeah, that one will have four. I'm saving the triangle for the last one because the triangle is kind of a fun one. Um, Four lines of symmetry for number seven. When you look at number four, the little smiley face, the smiley face only has one line of symmetry. If you folded that smiley face over, would it overlap that other side perfectly? Would it overlap that other side perfectly if you folded it over? And the answer is it would do with only one line of symmetry. So for number four should be one. Okay. Number eight. So number eight, you see exactly eight would have zero. That is a big fat zero. Big fat zero. It's a funky looking figure. There's no lines of symmetry on that. Exactly. So there's that. Number two. So you got number two, the lines of symmetry here. Triangles are fun because you can have your line of symmetry in the middle. Have your line of symmetry this way. Or you can have your line of symmetry this way. And again, I'm drawing this on my computer, but you got to make it to where they're kind of meeting in the middle there. It should be three, and I'm just kind of doing a mental look myself to double check. One, two, three. Yeah, it should be three. Okay, lines of symmetry. Lines of symmetry are fun. Maybe, I don't know. I just say that to say it. A couple of things on the test your skills section. Let me clear this out, and I'm going to scroll down. Okay, so let's scroll down. Zoom out slightly so that I don't have to. So Deidre is buying 5 CDs for $14.95 each. So $14.95 each. Ladies and gentlemen, I mean, that's $14.95 each. So $14.95 times 5 will give you your total cost. I'm not going to go too much with this. $14.95 times that 5 will give you your answer there. Number two, Pete paid $61.50 for 6 pizzas. How much did he pay for each pizza? So then it's just taking it and now doing its inverse. So your 61.50 divided by your 6 pizzas should give you your answer there. And just to kind of, I guess, reiterate and double check, 60 450 divided by 6 should give you 10.25 each pizza. 10.25 each pizza. So Irma bought 3 games. The prices were $4.50, $3.75, and $2.25. What was the average cost of a game? Add all 3 up, divide by 3. Add all 3 up and divide by 3. You're talking your average. Your average, you're taking 450 plus your 375 plus your 225. And it'll give you your answer. It'll give you your answer, whatever it is here, and divide it by 3 to give you your average. So to divide it to give your average. Right? So just because we were talking lines of symmetry, talking your lines of symmetry here. There, we're winding on our time. People coming next. So let's look at 11 and 12. So it says, well, what is the area of this figure? The area of this figure, I hope you all remember again still, length times width. 1 times your 2 is going to give you your 8.2 square units. Always remember, it is square units on that. They don't tell you, if you guys remember me talking about this before, that if there's no label given to you on these measurements, call them units. So when you call them units, then it's square units when it comes to dealing with the area. Then finally here, how many lines of symmetry does this figure have? Does this square? It's 1, it's 2, it's 3, and it has 4 lines of symmetry. And for those of you astute visual people, know that there was the answer right there. Hopefully that gives you a little bit of that. Know that congruent, same size and shape, congruent, same size and shape. Which figure is congruent to the white region? Well, you look down here, the only one that looks like a triangle would be figure B. Figure B. Which figure is congruent to the white region? You have to kind of look, and from my look here, that should be A. It should be A. Just trying to mentally do it myself. Look over. Yeah. Good. But that is that. A little bit of information about the yard sale packet. I do want to run through a little bit of interesting numbers. Those of you who, you know, me with real life stuff. So when it comes to real life numbers, I ran through this kind of example yesterday at the end. So like when it comes to all the COVID-19 stuff and all the numbers and all that kind of stuff. So if you follow any of the numbers, yesterday, the numbers that were, that were actually like produced here. There we go. So there were 1,933 positive cases of COVID-19. So 1,933 positive cases of COVID-19. Now, if you dig into the statistics, you would know that that's 1,933 out of the total number that they say were tested. Were 27,275 people that were tested, that actually reported tests that went back to the government database or the Department of Health, I believe is how that goes. So here's my question, if those of you who are following along with me, if I were to say to you, if we were actually in class or somehow, I would sit there and say, well, take a second now and say, well, what percentage of the total amount of tests? Say, well, what percentage of the total amount of tests were positive? Well, so you remember this. You're trying to find what percentage. I mean, the actual way of saying this is, goodness, there we go. Remember, part equals percent times whole. Well, we know that the whole amount is 27,275. We don't know the percentage. and we know that the part is 1933. So when we're trying to figure out the percentage of this, we're going to divide both sides by 27,275. Try to take my head off the screen here real quick to kind of keep writing. There we go. So with that being said, you have your fraction, your 1933 over your 27,275. It's just like you would do in any of the classes. I mean, you change your fraction to a percent. First of all, you had to do the division. What is 1933? Your 1933, type 1933 divided by your 27,275 is going to give you that amount. Remember to, when you change your decimal to a percent, you have to multiply by 100. You can then find out that when it comes to the percent of total tests that were positive, that is a it's about a 7% positive rate. So out of the amount that was tested, that was a 7% positive rate on that. Okay. And you remember me from saying that yesterday too. How many people are in the state of Ohio? Well, in the state of Ohio, there's 11.9 million people. So if I were to sit there and say, well, what is the full amount? What is the, out of the total amount in the state of Ohio, how many people were tested positive? 1933 over 11.9 million. I can write that out if you want me to, but out of the 11.9 million, same thing works. You take your 1933 and divide it by 11, and the 11.9 means 11,900,000 people. When you do that, you get this infinitesimal number multiplied by 100, and it's going to tell you that out of the state of Ohio, 0.016% of the population tested positive. 0.016% of the population tested positive. If you look at the entire state of Ohio, which was 11.9 million, 1,933 were tested positive or reported as positive. When you figure that out, you know that the percent that totally tested positive out of the state of Ohio was 0.016. So with that being said, that's all I got. Any questions? Just like I've said in the other live streams, just if you have any other questions, please reach out. Google Classroom. Send me an email. Again, reach out via Google Classroom. I'll be more than happy to answer them. I can always post a video if it helps everybody out. But with that being said, please stay safe. Stay healthy, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a good one.